Hi again, everyone. This is Tim from Cleveland Baseball Fan 879, and this is game number 7, or game 7 of the Roberto Clemente race to 3,000 hits in his final season of 1972. Today, Clemente and the Pirates stay in Philadelphia and face the Phillies. Bob Moose for the Pirates pitching against Woody Fryman on this Sunday afternoon, and we will roll for our weather effects. Philadelphia during the daytime in April, 1 to 9 good, 10 to 16 average, and 17 to 20 bad. And that's a 15, and that will be an average day. So ballpark singles are 1 to 3 for lefties, 1 to 12 for righties, and this will be the inverse for home runs. 1 to 10, so 50-50 shot for your lefties, but only a 1 to 4 for your righties. All right, so if you don't want to know what Clemente needs for the rest of the season, please skip ahead. He is 106 hits away from 3,000, and he has to do it in 391 plate appearances. All right. Batting order for the Pittsburgh Pirates, leading off and playing second base is Dave Cash. Batting second and playing center field is Gene Kleins, giving Al Oliver a day off. Batting third, playing right field, Roberto Clemente. Cleaning up and playing first base is Bob Robertson. Back behind the plate, batting fifth is Manny Sanguillen. Playing left field and batting sixth is Willie Stargell. Batting seventh and playing third base is Jose Pagan, giving Richie Hebner a day off. And then batting eighth is Gene Alley, and batting ninth is Bob Moose. Defensively, behind Woody Fryman, catching is Tim McCarver, Darren Johnson at first, Denny Doyle at second, Don Money at third, and Larry Boa at short. Left to right in the outfield, Greg Luzinski in left, Willie Montanez in center field, and Mike Anderson in right field. All right, and leading off is Dave Cash, lefty righty matchup. And here's the pitch. You get a 4 and a 6, and that's popped up. Shortstop Boa calls for it, and that retires Cash one away. Here's Gene Kleins. 4 and a 12. Diamond shot, but that's a 1 to 4. He's weak power anyway. That's a 7, so that's just a fly ball to left field. 2 up, 2 down. Here's Roberto Clemente. Three and a 7. 1 to lefty. And that's a base hit. So Clemente now on a 7-game hit streak, as he rips that one into center field against the lefty. And here's Bob Robertson. They will not hold Clemente on. Nothing on the 4 for the Havoc. And here's Robertson. 4 column 4 and an 11. Fly ball to left field. That's not good for Luzinski. A 4 and a 5. Won't likely get to it. And a 10. 4 and a 5. And he cuts it off nicely in the gap, though. Luzinski is an E12, and that's a 10. No 10. But Clemente gets a good read on it and heads to third. Runners on the corners with 2 outs. And here is Manny Sanguillen. Nothing on the 10. Oops, and we'll do that again. Six and a 5 against a righty. Fly ball to center field, and that will retire the side. Pirates strand 2, and after a half inning, it's the Pirates nothing and the Phillies coming to bat. And Bob Moose will finish his warm-up tosses. Here's batting order for the Phillies: Boa, McCarver, and Montanez, Johnson, Luzinski, and Money, Anderson, Doyle, and Fryman. And against a righty, that's a leadoff single for Larry Boa. So he rips that one into center field. And Moose is a 0, -2. We're going to hold him on, and then -2 more because of Sanguian. So he's a -4. 1-11. Let's see. Boa, 17 out of 26. They'll see if he can get the lead. Bottom of the first inning, they'll take a shot. So 2-6 or a 12, he gets the lead. And that's a 5. He gets the lead. So 1-11, he makes it. That's a 15. He is gunned down. So let's see here. So that's McCarver. So that would be probably the shortstop. So 2-6 on the caught stealing. And that's one away. And now here's McCarver. Four and a 7 against the lefty. Struck him out. 2 down. And here is Montanez. 3 and a 7. And against a righty, struck him out. So down go the Phillies here in the bottom of the first. And we go to the second. And it's no score. So Fryman will face Stargell, Pagan, and Alley here in the top of the second. And here's Willie Stargell. Lefty-lefty matchup. 4 and a 9 against the lefty. Fly ball to center field. And Montanez grabs it, one away. Here's Jose Pagan. Probably getting the start against lefties. 1 and a 3. Struck him out. First strikeout for Woody Fryman. 2 up, 2 down. Here's Gene Alley. Five and a 10. Shortstop chance for Boa. 14 means he'll only get to anything because he's a 1-rated shortstop. That was a 14. And Boa is a E10, so very good defensively. E10 and a 12. Nope, just 3, 16, 17, and 18. So Boa gobbles it up, throws to first, and that will retire the side. Through an inning and a half, it's the Phillies nothing and the Pirates nothing. And due up for the Phillies here will be Johnson, Luzinski, and Money. There's Darren Johnson. Five and a 10. ballpark single. Righty is 1-12. That's a 14. So let's see, say fly ball to center field. And Kleins tracks it down, 1 down. Here's Greg Luzinski, the Bull. Oops, and we'll do that one more time. Four and a 6. And that's a swing and a miss, struck him out. Third strikeout for Moose, 2 down. Here's Don Money. One and a 9 against a righty. Ground ball to second. And Cash retires. Money, 1-2-3 inning for the Phillies here. And we go to the top of the third. Pirates nothing, Phillies nothing. Moose, Cash, and Kleins do up for the Pirates here in the top of the third. Moose using pitcher hitting card number 2. One and an 11. That's a tapper back to the mound, and Fryman will deliver to first, and that's 1 away. Here is Dave Cash. Oops, and we'll do that again. All the dice have to go to the tray. 3 and an 8. Field goal roll there. Wow, between a split chance and a single. That's a tapper to first. And Johnson steps on the bag himself, 2 down. Here's Gene Kleins. Six and 11. Struck him out. Second strikeout for Woody Fryman. 1-2-3 go the Pirates here in the third. And after 2.5, it's the Pirates nothing and the Phillies nothing. Moose will face the bottom of the order. Anderson, Doyle, and Freeman. All right, here's Mike Anderson. 4 and an 8. Bouncer to third. And Pagan up with it. Gets Anderson 1 away. Here's Denny Doyle. 6 and a 9. Oh boy, 1-4 home run chance, but he gets the better of it because he has weak power. Bounces up against the wall and a 1-out double for Denny Doyle. So 1 out. They're gonna hold Doyle on. He runs at a 14. Yeah, I guess they'll hold Doyle on. And with a runner in scoring position, and Fryman using pitcher hitting card number 6, I'm not even going to attempt to bunt him. Well, he is an A bunter. Nothing on the 18. Five and a 5. Ground ball. Well, Fryman's a right-handed hitter. Wow. Sort of like me. Throws left, bats right. Let's see. 5 and a 5. Ground ball to short. Holding at second is Doyle. And 2 away. And Larry Boa, a chance to drive home a run here. Nothing on the 17. One and a 7. Fly ball to right field. And under it is Clemente, and that retires the side. So the Phillies strand a runner, and we go to the top of the 4th. Still no score. Clemente, Robertson, and Sanguian do up. All right, here's Clemente. One for one already. 6 and a 7. Struck him out. Third strikeout for Fryman. And here is Bob Robertson. 4 and a 5. And that's just a bit outside ball 4. So Robertson's been on base twice today. Single and now a walk. And they will not hold. Oof, maybe they will. +3 for Fryman and a +2 for McCarver. +5. Yeah, you have to. I guess you have to hold on every runner now, because if you don't hold him on, he could get a jump and have an 18 for a chance to steal. So I guess they'll hold every runner, and with that, they're going to try to get a jump here with Robertson. Needs a 4. And he does not get it. He's going to stay. They will hold him on. They'll have to hold every runner. All right, Havoc roll for Sanguian. Nothing on the 20. And here's Manny Sanguian. One and a 9. Ground ball to short. Boa to Doyle to Johnson. Inning-ending double play. And that does it for the Pirates here in the top of the 4th. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Still no score. And Moose will face McCarver, Montanez, and Johnson here in the bottom of the 4th. Six and a 7. Second base chance. That's a 2. So even with Cash out there, that's going to be a base hit. 8 and an 11. There is no 11, but that's a leadoff single for Tim McCarver. And let's see here. They will not hold on McCarver. Sanguian's a -2. And Moose is a 0, so he'd be 1 to 11. No. All right, here's Willie Montanez. Montanez struck out his first time up. 1 and an 8th. Another field goal roll. Wow. Fly ball to center and climbs under it, and that retires Johnson 1 away. Or Montanez, sorry. Here's Darren Johnson. Three and a 7. Single to 2. That's a 16. So ground ball fielded nicely by Robertson. Throws the second to get McCarver, but that's all they will get. So fielder's choice. Puts runner on second, and Johnson will not be held on. Here's Greg Luzinski. Nothing on the 6. And that's a ground ball to short, and that retires the side. Through 4, and still nobody's put a run on the board. All right, top of the 5th here. Stargell, Pagan, and Alley. And that's just a bit outside ball 4. That is the second walk for Fryman. And here's Jose Pagan. They are not expecting a bunt. It'd be a C bunter, but then he got the bottom of the order. We'll let Alley hit away, or Pagan hit away. Nothing on the 9. Stargell's not being held on. I guess he is being held on. No, they're not going to hold Stargell on. He's not, though. No, he's not going to steal. 1 and a 12. Sorry, excuse me. Ballpark home run chance. Nope. Sorry, that's against the lefty. Single to 1. No. So line drive to the shortstop. That's 1 away. There's Gene Alley. Nothing against the 12. And that's just a bit outside ball 4. So good patience there from Gene Alley. Third walk for Woody Fryman. And now they're expecting a bunt now from Moose. And I'm going to definitely put one down. Havoc roll. Nothing on the 4. All right, so Moose will now be a B bunter. Oh, boy. And that's a foul ball. And they will keep the bunt on. That's much better. 6 is to the third baseman. 4, oh boy. That is a speed check for B bunter. Moose runs at a 14, a 1 to 14. He beats this out. And he does. So Moose wanted to just lay it down for a sacrifice, and he plops it down perfectly. So bases loaded, 1 out for Dave Cash. And Havoc roll first. Nothing on the 14. Here's Cash. You'd love even a fly ball if you're... And are you playing back if you're the Phillies? No, you're playing in. So Binfield is in with the bases loaded. Yes, you're going to play in. 2 and an 11. And that won't matter. Third walk of the inning for Fryman. And that brings home a run. And the bases remain loaded for Gene Clines. Havoc roll. Nothing on the 18. Four and a 6. Popped him up. Infield fly roll. Caught by the shortstop Boa. 2 down. Big out for Fryman. Infield go back to normal now. Nothing on the 4. Here's Roberto. Oops. Yeah, pop up. Okay, here's Clemente. Singled and struck out in 2 appearances. 1 and a 10. And that's past the third baseman, down the left field line. In from third is Alley. In to score from second is Moose. Cash was not being held on. We did not say we were holding him on. So he hits third. 17. 2 outs makes him a 19. Left fielder Luzinski a 0 arm. With 2 outs, you got to send him. And they will throw home. Well, no. 19. They will let him score. No, sorry. 17. 16. Holding him with 17. 2 outs makes him a 19. I guess putting Clemente at third would be the same as having him at second, I guess. They'll throw home to see if they can't get Cash. 16, he is safe. Going to third on the throw is Clemente. Bases clearing double for Clemente. And it is now 4-0. And if Fryman doesn't watch out, he may be fatigued in this inning because we're playing the Stratomatic rule where if you give up 5 or more that you were considered, well, it's not fatigued, but it's ineffective. Havoc roll. Oops, and that doesn't count because it didn't go all the dice didn't go through. 2 and an 8 struck him out, and that will retire the side. But not until the Pirates get 4 runs on 2 hits, 3 walks, and they strand 1. So after 4.5, it's the Pirates 4 and the Phillies nothing. Historically, this game was won by the Phillies 5-4, so. All right. And due up for the Phillies, Money, Anderson, and Doyle. And I will say this, I don't think Fryman will last longer than either this at-bat or the next inning. Oops, didn't even need that. All right, here's Don Money. 8. 2 and a 7 against the righty. Ground ball to second, and Money is retired. Here's Mike Anderson. Oops, and we'll do that again. Six and an 8 against a righty. One's a triple, the rest is a single, so Anderson will single. Only the fourth hit of the game, excuse me, for the Phillies. And here's Denny Doyle. And we'll get a pinch hitter for Fryman on deck. Nothing on the 6. Four and a 6 against the lefty. Ground ball to second. Cash to Alley over to Robertson. Inning-ending double play. And that will retire the side. All right. We'll let Fryman potentially just pitch through this inning, and I think that will be it. He only went 5 innings in the real game and pitched to 27 batters. He's pitched to 22 batters, so I think we'll let him pitch to his 27 batter, or however many batters he gets to this inning. Sanguian, Stargell, and Pagan due up here in the top of the 6th. 3 and a 10. Ooh, and they may not even let him get that far. That's into the gap, cut off, and that's a leadoff single for Sanguian. Here's Willie Stargell. Havoc roll. And on a 1, that's a 1-3 wild pitch chance. That's a 9, nothing there. All right, here's Stargell. Five and an 8 against the lefty. Second base chance. We were not holding on Sanguian. Okay, probably a good thing. Let's see. Second base is Doyle, 2 and a 7. That is no pound sign anyway, but that's a G2, so he'll be possibly getting out. And a 9 on an E, 14. No 9, so he gets Sanguian going to second. But the return throw is not in time. 1 away. And here's Jose Pagan. 1-3, no. And here's Pagan. Oops, nope, that doesn't count. Three and a 5. Against the lefty, this is not a clutch situation, so that is into center field for a hit. And going to third is Stargell. And we're going to call timeout here because I'm going to do a double switch here. Hold on. Okay, so that will be it for Fryman. Bucky Brandon they're going to do a double switch. Byron Brown will come in and play right field and bat 9th. And take over bat 8th and take over for Anderson. Batting, and then now pitching is Bucky Brandon. So I'll take care of that for the... And Brown is not carded, but I will show you his card in the bottom half of the 6th. Okay. So Brandon will finish his warm-up tosses. As Fryman has gone 5 and a third. We won't know his run totals. Runners at first and third. And here's the pitch to Pagan, or to Alia, excuse me. Runners at first and third. Infield is in. Nothing on the 11. One and a 6 against a righty. And with the infield in, all right, first and third with infield in, that is a 1 and a 6. That's ground ball A. Infield in. Batter is out. Runner on third holds. Runner goes to second. So that ball hit to the shortstop. He looks the runner to third back and throws him out. 2 down. Infield back to normal. And here's Bob Moose. All right, Havoc roll for Brandon. Nothing on the 14. Six and a 7. Moose is a right-handed batter. Second base chance again for Doyle, 17. Will be fine for him. 6, 12, 14. Doyle is an E14. There's a 15, 16, 18, and 3, but there is no 14, so Doyle picks it up, throws the first, and that will retire the side. So Brandon comes in and holds the deficit to just 4. We go to the bottom of the 6th, and we'll be right back to show you Mr. Brown's card here. Timeout. Okay, so there is Mr. Byron Brown's card. Take a pause and take a look at it, and then we'll be right back right after this. Okay, here's Byron Brown, right-handed hitter against the right-hander Moose. One and an 8, swung on and missed, struck him out. That is strikeout number 4 for Bob Moose. And here's Larry Boa. Three and a 7 against a righty. Ground ball to second. And Cash fires to first. 2 down. And here's Tim McCarver. Singled and struck out in 2 appearances. Oops, and we'll do that again. Six and a 3 against the lefty. That's to left field. The Stargell 17 helps him out. Oh boy. All right, 4 and a 17 is fine. E11 and an 11. There is no 11, so Stargell makes the nice running catch, and that retires the side. We are to the top of the 7th. Pirates 4, Phillies nothing. And Brandon will face the top of the order, Cash, Kleins, and Clemente. And here is Cash. 0 for 2 with a walk. Oops, and we'll do that again. Jeez. And that's a fly ball to left field. And caught there by Luzinski, 1 away. And here's Gene Kleins. Four and a 7, 1 to 5 single chance. Nice stop by the third baseman. Money dives, gets it, throws to first, and in time. 2 down, 1 to 5 single chance. That's a 6. So the Phillies fans give Don Money a nice round of applause. Here's Roberto Clemente, 2 for 3, single and a double and a strikeout. 3 and a 3. That's a weak ground ball to second. And Doyle retires Clemente. 1, 2, 3 innings. Stretch time here in Philadelphia. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I never get back, for it's root for your favorite team. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. All right, this is Moose's point of weakness inning. He has faced 20 batters in 6 innings, so he is still very fresh. Has allowed only 4 hits, so we will keep him going. Here's Montanez. He is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Oops. We will do that again. Two and a 5. Weak ground ball to second. And that retires Montanez. Here's Darren Johnson. And we will do that one more again. Six and a 3 to left field. The 21st Stargell helps. And it's the same roll we had the last time. There is no 11 on an E11, so Stargell will retire Johnson. 2 down for Greg Luzinski. And that's a ground ball to first. Robertson throws to Moose covering. That retires a side. We go to the 8th. And this will be likely the last inning for Mr. Brandon, as he is due up second in the next inning. He will face Robertson, Sanguillen, and Stargell. And here's Bob Robertson. Ken Reynolds is loosening in the bullpen. Oops, we'll re-roll the D20 if needed. And it is not, because that's just a bit outside ball 4. Second walk drawn for Robertson. And wow, yeah, we will have to hold runners on. The Phillies pitcher is not very good at holding runners. So, yeah, if he got the 4, he'd be almost automatic. In fact, we will try to get a jump. No. Okay, so they will hold him on. Here's Manny Sanguillen. Havoc roll. Nothing on the 3. And here's Sanguillen. 1 for 3 with a single. 5 and an 8. Struck him out. 1 away for Willie Stargell. Nothing on the 9. Here's Stargell. 6 and a 7. Second base X for Doyle. Oh, we were holding him on. So, let's see. Hold on. Left-handed. Oh, it's a shortstop that's responsible for him, not the second baseman. So Doyle keeps his 2 rating. In defensive. Okay, so because he wasn't holding him on, it doesn't go up to 3, and it's not a single. So it's a G3 because he wasn't responsible. And that's a 7 on a 14. No 7. So nice play by Doyle to range towards first. And his only play is to first, and they get Stargell. And moving to second base is Robertson, but there are 2 outs for Jose Pagan. Nothing on the 12. Two and a 7. And that will be good for 1 to 19 single chance. Not quite his 3rd inning of work, but he will only move to 3rd. So runners on the corners with 2 outs for Gene Alley. Here in the 4-0 game, top of the 8th. Havoc roll. Nothing on the 20. Here is Gene Alley, chance to add more insurance to Bob Moose. 4 and a 5. Shortstop chance. Bo is a 1, so the 16 will just say he gets to it. And 10, there is no 9. No. So nice play by Boa to retire Alley. Pirate Strand 2. We go to the bottom of the 8th. 4-0 Pirates. And Reynolds has finished his tosses. And he will be ready to go here in the going to the top of the 9th. Actually, they will sit Reynolds and go with... well, no, we'll go with Reynolds to finish the game. All right, so Moose, going to the 8th, will face Money. Ron Stone has come out on deck. He will hit for the pitcher, and then Doyle. And here's Don Money. 3 and a 9. Bouncer to short. And Alley will retire Money. Okay, so Ron Stone will pinch hit. And then Reynolds will pitch. Okay. Here is Ron Stone. 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th. 4 and a 5 against the lefty. Shortstop chance. 16 for the shortstop, Alley. That's fine. E25, though. E25 and a 6. Oh, boy. 4, 13, 6, 4, 13, 17, and 18. So good play by Alley to retire Stone. 2 down. And here is Denny Doyle. And here's a pitch to Doyle. And a 1-5. Single to 12. That's a 5. And that's a base hit. And that brings up Mr. Brown. Havoc roll for nothing on the 3. Here's the pitch to and that's a swing and a miss. Struck him out. 5 strikeouts. And we go to the top of the 9th. Pirates lead 4-0. And Ken Reynolds, as he takes his warm-up tosses, I just wanted to pass along something. Some of you may have watched the last game and noticed that Dave Justy pitched in the game. Unfortunately, Dave Justy passed away this past Sunday at the age of 86. So may his memory be eternal, as Beatles eternally says. So just figured I'd throw that out there in case it was not seen, and it probably wasn't. All right, so hold on a second. Let me check to see something here. I want to see how many batters Moose faced in the real game. 27. You know what? They're going to cap Moose at 8 innings. So we'll get a pinch hitter for him. And then we'll have Bob Veal come into the game to maybe get a mop-up duty here. Let's see who pinch hit for him. Vic Davalillo will pinch hit for Moose here in the top of the ninth. I know he's pitching a shutout, but they're going to cap him anyways. Very un-70s thing to do, but hey. All right, so Davalillo will pinch hit. I don't need the havoc ball. All right, against Ken Reynolds. Three and a 6 against the lefty. Bouncer back to the mound. And that retires Davalillo. Here's Dave Cash, one away here. Three and a 9, and against the lefty, base hit into right field. And here's Gene Klein's. Nothing on the 9. Oops, and we'll redo that one. Five and a 4, third base chance. That's money, 2 and an 8. They will get a runner, possibly. Money is an E, 11, so he's very good defensively. No, there probably is not a 10 on an E11, third base. No 10, so they will get Cash at second. But return throw, not in time. 2 down, and here's Roberto Clemente. Nothing on the 9. And that ball is driven into the left field gap. Klein's not being held on. Makes him an 18. 2 outs makes him a 20. That ball is to left field. Luzinski's a 0. Once again, they'll throw home because there's 2 outs. He's basically the only way he's out is on a 20. And he is safe. So RBI double for Clemente, 3rd hit on the game. And 4th RBI. So have yourself a game, Roberto. And 5-0 now is the total as Clemente goes to 3rd on the throw. All right, and here's Bob Robertson. And a no wild pitch chance for Reynolds. And here's Robertson. 1 for 2 officially with 2 walks. 4 and a 2. Fly ball to left, and that will retire the side. But the Pirates get a run and lead 5-0 going to the bottom of the 9th. Bob Veal will come into the game, and I will have to get you his card showing because he is not listed. He did not pitch that much in the 72 season. So we'll be right back to show you his card. Oops. All right, and there's Veal's card. Once again, if you want to take a look, pause, and we'll be right back. All right, so the top of the order, Boa, McCarver, and Montanez. Fans at home in Pittsburgh are not happy, but Moose may have told manager, he didn't have it. That was it for him. So, all right. 5 and a 6, switch hitter batting right-handed, and that's just a bit outside ball 4. And Veal is a -1 hold. Okay, so they will hold him on, but he will not go anywhere. Here's Tim McCarver. And if a 1 comes up, it's an automatic wild pitch because he's got a wild pitch at 20. Nothing there. All right, lefty-lefty matchup for McCarver. And that's a fly ball to center field, and Kleins puts it away, 1 away. And here's Montanez. Havoc roll. Excuse me. Nothing on the 19. Oops, that was a 4. Yeah. So 4 and a 6 against the lefty. Fly ball to center field, and that's 2 away. Last chance for the Phillies is Darren Johnson. Nothing on the 4. 5 and a 6 against a righty. That's another walk. And here's Greg Luzinski, 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Nothing on the 9. Oops. And we will do that again. And I'll take a quick timeout so I can find the die. Okay, here's the pitch to Luzinski. 2 on, 2 out, 5-0 Pirates. And a 6-10 against a righty. Fly ball to center field. Kleins, a 4 and a 19. And now here's the hard part. E14. Needs to avoid 12, 16, 17, and 18. And he does. So Kleins takes care of all 3 outs, and that's your ball game. Final score from, let's see, this would have been probably Veterans Stadium. Yep, Veterans Stadium. 5-0 Pirates, and we'll be right back with the line score. All right, 5 runs, 9 hits, no errors for the Pirates. 0 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Phillies. Clemente has 3 hits on the day, a single and 2 doubles, so which means he has 103 hits to go in 387 plate appearances. All right, everybody, thank you for watching. Please leave a comment if you like. Please leave a like for the video. It helps it to be seen. And if you've not already subscribed, please hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon to be notified of any new videos. And whatever game you are playing, please enjoy it to your fullest. Have a good day, everybody.